Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about a shocking confession. Literally, the words at the top of the two cards that we have here. We've got some unexpected truth coming out. I do feel like this is somebody who is saying, like, they're confessing it themselves, right? It's not somebody exposing another person. They're saying, okay, this is what I should have told you a long time ago, but I'm going to finally tell you now. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. Hello, daughter of Saturn. Hello, key controller. Hello, famous Seamus. What's happening? If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you. And right below that, you can also get additional information on the memberships that I offer, where you can get access to additional shorts, videos, live streams, personal readings, priority replies. Hello, Renee. Hello, Dana. How are we doing? All right, let's get some more details. We need to get the tea. This is the Tattoo Tarot. What else do we have? King of Cups. Judgment in the reverse. Empress in the reverse. This feels to me like somebody who's crying and confessing. I don't normally pick up on, everyone's crying, but I do feel like there are tears that accompany this confession. It's questionable judgment, something that someone should not have done and was selfish or lacking that consideration of other people's feelings and just doing whatever they wanted to, right? All right, what else do we have? Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Thank you. Hello, Redbeard. What's happening? The Lovers in the reverse. The Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So the first tactic that this individual will use with regards to their confession is, I didn't have a choice. I did this thing, but I didn't have a choice. BS. Judgment's in the reverse. They could have made a different choice, but they did not. So it's like a little bit frustrating at the beginning when this person is trying to start this conversation, or when you are perhaps starting this conversation. I think this is a hesitation or a little bit of like a hiccup for them, because confessing this is pretty scary. But then with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, I feel like there's something that helps the anxiety kind of go out the window. And then this person feels like, okay, well, I already started. I might as well just go for it. And I do feel there's an apology. And I do feel that this has to do with long-term relationship or family. So we could have somebody who is confessing that they stepped out. We could have somebody who is telling their family they got married when they weren't supposed to. There's this like, okay, well, I guess I just have to tell you, I made my decision. I know that it's not what you wanted me to do, but that's what I did. And initially they try to say like, I didn't really have a choice. This is just what I did. But then they own it. It's like they work up the courage and then they're like, oh, yeah, you know what? No, I did it. I knew you would be mad and I did it anyway. You know? Hello, Selena. Hello, Tina. How's it going? What else? Ooh, did I miss Corey? What's up, Corey? On the table and gossip. I feel like we have somebody who is confessing something because there's a chance that it's going to come out through other ways. So it always looks better if you own your crap before everybody just like talks about it, right? Yeah, I do feel like this is, I know you don't want me to hang around with that person, or I know you don't think I should be dating yet, or I know you don't think that I should have made that flirtation as obvious as I did. I feel like this is about bumping uglies or getting into a relationship with somebody and being judged by your family or doing something that everybody disagrees with in terms of romance. So a lot of judgy energy. This could be someone deciding to get a divorce when the family feels that you should stay with the person. We do have the twin flame card, roller coaster, and synchronicities. Who is so interested in your life? They are creating stories upon stories. Maybe you're just kind of a mysterious individual, or you don't post everything on social media, but it's like people are trying to figure this out. So if there's a breakup, it's like, oh, who did the bad thing? Who's the person to blame? If this is you went and got married and nobody was supposed to find out, then there are people who are wondering if that's what happened. But with the twin flames dynamic, this is often indicative of a pretty embattled love connection where there's a lot of individual personal healing that has to happen, often in separation. And you often have some sort of adversity from family or friends, some decision that pits the love interest against the community or the support that they have. And that often is pretty difficult, right? Hello, Darla. How are you doing? Hello, Illuminati. We've got leadership, teacher, guide, entrepreneur, sharing wisdom, and global. Alive, excitement, boldness, vigor, dynamic, zest, and movement. And split, head versus heart, two worlds, transition, and ego death. So the thing is, everyone was trying to tell me what I needed to do. I don't know why, but the image in my mind is like the grooming that happens in a political family, or maybe even within like music, but it's that I planned your life out for you before you even got to be like 14 years old, right? There's these expectations of you're going to be a great leader, you're going to make a ton of money, you're going to go get this education. And I feel like somebody's like, no. Independent thinking, choosing your own life, not letting others influence what you decide regarding your romance or perhaps even with your career. But it took a while for whoever I'm reading, it took a while to make that decision. It looks to me like we've got family influence that wants a focus from you or perhaps your person on making money. Go to school, get a job, save up money, buy a house. But don't you dare fall in love. We've got this evil eyes, very controlling energy, very, I'm looking at what you're doing, and if you make a mistake, I'm going to call you out on it. Like, just as an example, it doesn't happen very often that anyone watches me while I do my makeup. It's something I do every day. It's pretty perfunctory, but it's weird when somebody is like there. I'm like, this is somebody who's like so used to being watched, so used to being judged. Like, you missed a spot. But I think they're getting ready to establish dominance, to make it clear that they're going to make their own decisions. They're not going to be a little puppet for anybody. Hello, Fortune. How are you doing? Hello, Carrie. What's happening? Did I say hello to Laura and John? Hello. How are y'all doing? Hello, Third Eye. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Sorry, I don't fit into your perfect little family picture. Sorry, I'm not just like a little robot that you can command and, you know, whatever would make you feel or look good, like that's what I do. I'm not going to march to your orders. So this Sun card is about enlightenment. I have an inner wisdom, or I have this intuition. I have an understanding of what path is right for me, and it's not just based on whether or not you approve or whether or not I become a trillionaire. You know, like this is, I know what I'm supposed to be doing with my life, or I know how I want to live my life. So worry about your own business. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse and the Ace of Pentacles. For some of you, this decision is not pursuing a certain education or degree, not accepting a job offer, quitting a job even, starting up a business, or pursuing somebody romantically that is seen as an obstacle to your goals, which are really just things that somebody else told you should do. So this is like, that's not the life I want, but hey, thanks. Totally appreciate you trying to control everything that I do. That's just real sweet of you. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. 7 of Wands in the reverse. Ace of Wands. So sometimes you make a decision that you know is risky, and it's like you're hesitating, right? Like, what's going to be the reaction? Does this work or does it not work? It's as if I'm watching somebody play a game of roulette, like high stakes, everything on red. I feel like this is somebody who is not sure how things are going to go, but they know that they don't want to just resign themselves to the life that somebody else seems to have chosen for them. I'm perfectly capable of making my own decisions. It might mean that I have, you know, fewer toys or less square footage and wherever I live, but that's okay. This is someone saying, I'm going to put in the work. I want to choose this other path. I want to live my own life. Weird is the best though, Third Eye. If that's a question for me, Third Eye, I would hope that you could already tell. 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. Knight of Cups. 10 of Wands. I feel there's someone else who's walked this path before you. So if we are going by the example of mom or dad or trying to tell me how to live my life because they've planned it ever since I was a child, very heavy family influence or expectations. Maybe there's an older sibling where I've seen them walk that path, or I've had to see like the joy leave their eyes because they abandoned their dreams or their passions or even a love, right? This is someone who's like, nah, I'm not going to do what that person did. I'm not going to give up everything that makes me happy just so that you can like parade me around town and everyone can be like, look at this responsible adult who does everything that they're told. Oh, no, this is, I reject your desire to make decisions for me. Even if it means it's like the great unknown and I, you know, crash and burn, or I have to sleep in my car for a couple of weeks, that's fine. So be it. I am not your puppet. Fool in the reverse, Seven of Cups in the reverse. I do feel like part of this is tied to a realization of who somebody really is. So there could be, you remember in the Notebook, there was this moment where the mom is exposed for having hidden the letters that what's-his-face sent to his love interest, where it's like, dang, mom, that's really cool. Like, we get that you didn't get to live the life that you wanted to, but why you gotta like ruin somebody else's? There's something like that where you see this person is willing to throw out or sacrifice somebody else's happiness for the way they want it to be. There's something that really makes it clear that they don't seem to care whether or not you're going to enjoy your life or achieve the things that you want. And that motivates this person to say, F you. And the horse you rode in on. Sneaky link, hidden lover, low-key situationship, side piece. Ooh. Yeah, here's the deal. I feel like we have somebody who is trying to dictate how their children live, trying to like be meddlesome, I guess, and being successful at that, and very like rigid with the rules, right? You have to be perfect. But whoever this controlling parent figure is, they get caught cheating. That's the moment where it's like, why would I listen to you on how to live a good life or be a good person when that's what you did? I feel this instigates or like is a catalyst to an argument, a chaos, an erosion between the people in this family, because whatever you feel you should be able to use to control me is not as powerful as it used to be because I see you for who you really are now. Yeah, see, I feel like there's gossip about someone stepping out on their marriage that had, for the most part, just been gossip. And now there's proof. Now there's evidence, and that contributes to the rift between these two. Excuse me. All right. This is the Golden Art Nouveau. What else do we have? Wow, the Devil and the Angel and the Hermit. So the Devil, Temperance, and the Hermit. I know that you wanted everyone to see you in a particular way all of these years, or I know that you have this like reputation that you're trying to maintain or preserve. But the truth is, your control over me is weakened when your efforts to keep things peaceful or calm are interrupted by somebody discovering what you do that doesn't seem to align with the things that you preach, doesn't seem to align with the things that you tell me to do, or with the reputation you have with the community at large. So if this is somebody who is exposed for cheating on their spouse, this is somebody who in the community would have been seen as like the last person to do that, or like nobody really knows that for sure, right? Hey Pharaoh, how are you doing? Just give Redbeard a couple minutes, he'll change that. Hey James, how are you doing? Oh, bless you too, John. Hello, May Marie. What's happening? Nine of Wands in the reverse, Queen of Cups, And the Emperor with the Nine of Swords in the reverse again, in the same column. Now that you're at a disadvantage, now that you're trying to defend yourself, now that it's clear that your relationship isn't very great, now that we know the mistakes that you've made, go ahead. Tell me how I'm supposed to live my life. I'll be sure to take notes. This is somebody who's like, I don't take you seriously anymore. Like, you wanted me to respect you. You wanted me to like listen to your advice and choose to live a life that would be, you know, one that makes you proud. You don't make me proud. Why should I want to make you proud? There's an argument, and it's very much so family situation where it's like, you don't get to tell me what to do. You lost that privilege when you decided to be whatever it is you're doing right now. They're like, what else? Knight of Swords in the reverse. King of Wands. Knight of Cups in the reverse. There's a lot of maturity that has been underestimated, or there's a lot of personal growth that this individual has gone through. And it could be because of the twin flame journey. But we have this King of Wands is the person who's establishing their independence, right? I know you want to tell me how to live my life, but you're really not going to. I do feel like it's a little bit impulsive how they respond or what they end up doing here. But it's because they don't care anymore if they upset this person in their family. They have realized now that what they have tried to do to be, you know, loved by this person seems hollow after finding out who this person really is. Chariot in the reverse, Six of Swords. Maybe you could have influenced me before, but now that I see who you really are, now that everybody sees you for who you really are, all of the things that you were trying to do to control me or prevent me from going on that path that I know is meant for me, it means nothing to me now. So this timing is not coincidental. It's because this individual, what are we calling you? The King of Wands. They were supposed to leave. They were supposed to live the life they're wanting to live, not whatever this emperor is hoping for. All right, let's get a few from the signs of the times. Hey, Christina. Hello, Round Bedlam. How we doing? Hello, Jess. What's going on? Butterfly, Metamorphosis. This is our King of Wands. Congratulations to you. It's also number 22, which is tied to twin flames. So you may have had some ego death or spiritual growth tied to the fact that you've had to go through a lot of difficult situations with this love interest because of how different you are, what you view the world as, what your families expect of you. It's not been an easy journey, but I do feel like whoever I'm reading for, you have persisted, you have endured, you have continued because you feel this is your destiny, because you feel you're supposed to live your life in a different way. Hello, weird girl. How are you doing? I like the emojis, John. All right, let's see what else we've got. This is the Tarot de la Nuit. What else do we have? Queen of Wands in the reverse. Page of Cups in the reverse. The Six of Wands in the reverse. This is interesting. Okay, so what I'm seeing is eerily reminiscent of a season from American Horror Story with, I think it was called Coven, where when you announce the next superior, the level of power or magic that one has transfers, right? This feels to me like someone who is upset or frustrated because they sense that their child, who may be of the same gender, is replacing them, is surpassing them, is smarter than them, is more attractive than they are. There's a competitive energy here. And it's like, I'm trying to hold you back. I don't know that they specifically think of it that way in their mind, but it is immature, competitive energy that makes them want to control what this person actually does with their life, or makes them want to make it difficult for you to like outdo them, right? Hello, Grind Hard. How are you doing? Did I say hello to Pharaoh? I really hope I did. You like it? I do enjoy silly shirts. All right, what else do we have? The Fool in the reverse and the World. Thinking they could stop a cycle, thinking they could stop their own aging, thinking they could stop you from getting into a more independent energy in your life. This person's foolish because they thought they could harness your energy or control your energy. They might even be a little bit intimidated by you. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Nine of Swords, the Wheel, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah. This is someone who feels a lack of stability or a lack of control. They might have some financial issues, or they might be extremely materialistic. I feel that's maybe a little bit more likely, which is a money problem of its own, right? But this is our Emperor energy, feeling like they are not as in control, that they are not as powerful as they used to be, or that they don't have the life that maybe they expected to have by this point. So they're frustrated because they do sense that things are changing, and the younger energy, the younger version of them basically, is making them look bad. If you were like track stars, this person had a world record and you beat it when you're like 16. You're like, you're not even done yet. And they're like, oh my God, you're going to make me look so bad. They don't like that you're doing better than they did, which I don't know. I don't have kids, but I'm going to go ahead and say that if I did have a kid, I would hope that most people's goal is, I want you to have a better life than I had. Like, no? Is that weird? Hello, Global. How are you doing? Hello, Tara. I hope you're having a good day. Five of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and the reverse. So the decision is, if you are going to try to prevent me from being successful, if your goal is to make sure that I don't do as well as you did, then what do I really owe you? You're out here trying to like ruin my plans or make sure that I'm not successful, then I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna make sure you can still have a nice view and everything, but I'm gonna be even more successful than you thought I was going to be. Like, watch me, hold my beer. I don't blame you. This person's just struggling. And you don't deserve to like deal with that, right? Hello, Wanda. How are you doing? Hello, Matt. What's happening? We've got only you, devoted, attached, and crave. I feel like this is that twin flame energy. Because on the twin flame card, it does say the one. You've got distracted and confusion. So now that there is some new information on my parent who is competing with me and trying to control my life, then maybe I don't have to follow their rules. Maybe I don't have to do whatever they tell me to do, right? Because it does look like this emperor is running out of steam. They're dealing with some little scandal here or trying to keep the gossip from getting out of hand. And part of the reason I feel that this Queen of Cups, King of Wands energy, the person who's feeling more independent, part of the reason I feel like they're set to exceed their parent or be more successful is because they are not shallow like their parent. Now, maybe that's a little bit blunt, but this is saying, look, if you want to be a part of this family, you have to do this and follow these rules, and like you don't really need to think about anything. That worked for the emperor because they're kind of shallow, right? They just wanted to go where the money was. But this King of Wands energy feels drawn to a particular purpose, or they know that this love interest of theirs motivates them to be the best version of themselves. This is just like, you are not the positive influence that you think you are, Emperor. Hoping, expecting, faith, and manifesting. And boundaries. No, drawing the line and enough. Yeah. Sometimes we have to take a little bit of a step back to understand what's going on in a dynamic, whether that's a family member, a romantic partner, or a friend, or a coworker. Make sure that the expectations are appropriate from your standpoint and from theirs, right? Like, are you being reasonable? That's always an important question to ask. And the thing is, I feel like you have been reasonable. I feel like this person did not respect your boundaries. I feel like this person wanted to create chaos for you, and that is just not good. So they're getting some sort of consequences for how they've interacted with you or how they've lacked respect for your ability to make your own choices. What else do we want? This is the character oracle. Hey, co-creates. Hello, Lemonade. What's going on? Hello, Aruhi. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. So we've got writer, weaver of tales, storyteller, crafting, communication, and polishing, and ninja, master of stealth, shadow walker, Bushido. This makes me feel like we've got somebody who is exceptionally talented or skilled at telling stories. They could be writing lyrics, they could be writing novels, they could be a journalist. But this storytelling skill is meant to be used. Storytelling is the lifeblood of our society. What exists that is beautiful in the world that doesn't in some way involve storytelling? Art, music, poetry. We've got somebody who maybe wanted to do something that was more in the liberal arts side of things, or like entertainment, and they're meant to do that, whoever you are. You just have to maybe kind of sneak away from the family because they want to tell you that you need to be a doctor or a lawyer or something, right? They want you to make a ton of money. That's what they care about. Oh, they want you to be a researcher. Or they want you to research things that are not interesting to you. You are not lazy. You do not have, issues with regards to intelligence. I think you're actually smarter than this person who's trying to control you. The thing is, you know where your talents need to be used. Because you're thinking about what is important to you and what is needed, and they're thinking about what they would choose for themselves. All right, this is the Gypsy Oracle. What else do we have? Hello, Alberto. How are you doing? What's up, Upper Echelon? Yes, please. Ooh, we've got Thief. Sorrow. And Journey. Yeah, there's definitely a hit to this person's reputation. They're being seen as somebody who is dishonest. To be honest with you, I feel like this is somebody whose affair or like romantic scandal is discovered because somebody is sneaking in or out of a house or apartment. Now there's trouble, and whoever I'm reading for, your life begins a little bit more easily because this person's been bombarded with drama of their own making. It's like the universe said, here, hold this. And then to you, they were like, okay, go. Coast is clear. Pleasure seekers and sweetheart. Yeah, I do think that there is somebody, like a third party in this marital situation, that is talking about things, making it look bad, saying they knew this person was in a relationship and they didn't care. So it does kind of seem like this scandal is blowing up bigger than most people would expect, because one of the individuals is quite content to share how they feel or what's been going on, or throw someone under the bus quite rapidly. Hello, who that? How are you doing? All right, let's see. Why do they what? Are you saying why do they resonate? I firmly believe that my readings are able to find the people that need to hear them. That's why I feel like even if it's a year and a half ago that I posted a particular short, someone will comment on it because it was supposed to find them in that time, right? Just important to keep in mind when you're consuming general readings that not everything will resonate, right? That makes sense. This is the Pulp Tarot. Ace of Swords, Six of Cups. For some of you, you're finding out that who you thought was your father or who you thought was your mother, that something there is not accurate. That is not for everyone. For others of you, there is something that is told to you by a sibling that helps you gain the courage to make this final declaration. I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to let you bully me or tell me how to live my life. But I do feel that it's because it's easier for you to make this decision because somebody is dealing with the consequences of their shitty actions. I'm just going to say it. Devil in the reverse, Death, Knight of Cups. So they have to work to free themselves from that problem. You're able to end things and start a new chapter and pursue something that actually makes you happy, because this person who wants to be all up in your life, they got distracted by a curveball. All right, I'm going to leave it there, everyone. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. I sure appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.